Hello and welcome to episode 25 of my Minecraft Technic Hardcore Modded Skyblock tutorial Let's Play series. In this episode we will finish the quest storing and upgrading. So let's go into the quest book, and where I left off was the ME partition editor. And I don't think that I covered it that well. I wanted to what I didn't do, and what I wanted to do was demonstrate it actually, the use for it. So actually put it through a use, show you properly using it to partition a disk. So I'll recover that in this next exercise, which is moving data. We're going to need an MEIO port. So what if you have nicely formatted a disk which only accepts cobblestone, but your cobblestone is scattered over a bunch of other disks? What if you want to dump the contents of your 1K disk into your shiny new 4K disk? For this you need an MEIO port. The left grid is the input side and the right grid is the output side. You can set the direction of transfer, the redstone behavior, and the condition under which a disk will go from input to output. For example, let's put your shiny new 4K disk into the drive and empty your 1K disk into it. Set the port to transfer to network, leave the redstone behavior at ignored, and change the completion behavior to when work is done. Now put your 1K disk in the input side. After a few moments the disk will be emptied and it will move over to the output side. For the cobblestone disk you could do the same, except you want to transfer from network to disk. So I want to demonstrate these two, the ME partition editor and the MEIO port. So let's get that done. First let's quickly sleep. It always seems to be night. Okay, so right, where do we begin? Let's begin by making this IO port. That's partition editor. Where did I put it? IO port. There we go. So to make the IO port, 3 glass, 2 ME drives. Oh yeah, it's going to burn through your resources as we go through applied energistics. An ME cable, a basic processor, and 2 iron. Redstone, I am nearly out of redstone, so that's my next bottleneck, is the redstone. Anyway, that gets you an MEIO port. So let's now demonstrate the use of the partition editor and the MEIO port. Now a good example is cobblestone, okay, although I'm going to need to do wood as well soon because I'm getting a ton of it. But let's do this demonstration on cobblestone, and I want to go a step further, because you're going to be like me, no doubt. You're going to make mistakes now and again, and you're going to do certain things wrong. So let's show you, if you get it all messed up with the ME storage, okay, for your 1K, let's just say you format it and it's done wrong. You've done it wrong, okay? So I've formatted this to cobblestone, but I've then realised I've made a mistake and didn't want it set like to cobblestone. I wanted it set to something else. What do you do about that? Well, you don't make another one. What you simply do is pull it in your toolbar, press the left shift key on your keyboard and right click. That empties the storage cell, and we're going to be getting to this in a quest or two's time, so don't worry about this. And then what you do is you put your storage cell in there, and your housing in that side, and then you remake it. Notice what that's done is it's removed the formatting from the disk. Now I know you're going to make that mistake at some point, because I did, so it's important to know how to go back to square one if you need to. Okay, so notice now when I hover over it, it doesn't say anything. So if I take that out and put that back in, you see now there's nothing in here, so it's completely unformatted. How do we format that disk now? Well, I want to format it to cobblestone, so I'll put cobblestone in there, type in cobblestone, and then click format. Notice it's still empty, but click format. It's now called cobblestone and will only accept cobblestone. Okay, let's remove the text out of here. So how do I know that that will only now accept cobblestone? Because it might say cobblestone and it does say partitioned, allow precise, but do I know if it works or not? So let's take it out. Let's clear that. If I put that back in, you'll see that that automatically puts cobblestone in there. Okay, right, but how do we know if it's working? So let's move on then to this next part of the quest where it says moving data. So welcome to the IO port. Now the very first thing we must do, of course, for me to demonstrate this, is go to my ME drive. I put my 1K storage in there. Notice it's empty. Okay, now if we go to the ME IO port, let's just demonstrate this a bit further. So let's put my 64K in there. Let's take this out quickly just to show you. So if I look now, you'll see that's the contents of my 64K disk. Now I've formatted this one for cobblestone, so I don't want the cobblestone in this disk. So in what the quest said, what we do is I'll take out my 64K, I'll put my blank stock formatted 1K in there for cobblestone. We'll go over to the ME port. We'll now put in my 64K storage. Now here it said to do it when the work job is done. So move to output when work is done. The work that I want done is the cobblestone moved out of here. So also here must be set to transfer to network. So what it's going to do is transfer out of this disk when I pull it in the left side to the right side, which is the network. And what we should see is that the number 12 goes to 11. Why? Because the cobblestone will be removed out of it, or should be. So let's see. So we'll drop this in there. And that should now move to the right side, and now there's 11 in there. So let's take this out and see if this worked. So if we go over to my ME network, what should we see? We should see cobblestone. Voila, there we go, cobblestone, 222. Oops. So if we go to here now, we'll also notice that that contains one type of item, and it's got 36. 36, is it stacks? Yeah, I believe so. Okay, let's put this back in there. That's now got 11, and that's got 1. So now if I go to here and do this, that now, whoops, should have gone all into there, as you can see. So now there's 38. But this still has only 11, so you definitely know that the cobblestone hasn't gone into that disk. So there we go, that's what the quest book is talking about. That's the usefulness of the ME port and dedicating the disks as well using the formatter. I know I should have probably done a 4K storage for the cobblestone, but in actual fact, just to quickly show you something. Down here I've set up two cobblestone generators, okay? And the way they work is when the chest gets full, they stop working. So just to demonstrate this, if I take one stack out, see, it started working. So with that in mind, okay, I've set 2 up. I don't need to store any more on my network, because if I need any cobblestone, what I can do is now just leave these like this, you know, once they're full up, just leave them full. So therefore I don't need to junk up my network with more cobblestone. I'll just keep them in here separated, and as I need them, I'll just take them out and it will replenish, and it will stop as soon as they are full. I thought they would start spewing them on the ground, but they don't. As soon as the chests are full, they stop harvesting, generating cobblestone. So there we go, I just thought I'd quickly show that. Okay, let's get back to the quest tracker and continue on. So that's moving data, that's the IO port, and that's the ME partition editor. Sorry that I didn't show it more clearly by actually formatting a disk. Now that that is done, in cobblestone. So there we go, that's them. Okay, upgrade complete. When you've crafted the 4K disc, you'll probably notice that it required 3 of the storage cells used to make the 1K disc. Okay, let's quickly show you the crafting of the 4K disc. Oh, here it is. Okay, to make the 4K disc, you need 3 iron, 3 redstone, a storage segment and 2 glass. A storage segment is 3 storage cells, 4 redstone, an ME basic processor and 1 glass. Now you can start to see why I'm chewing through my redstone, and down in my sifter I've only got 2 stacks of it left in there, so I'm going to have to seriously do some redstone farming or just wait for it to generate enough of it. Anyway, so there we go, that's how you get a 4K storage. So I've got storages all over the place now. Okay, so let's go back into the quest tracker. So that's how you make the 4K storage. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just upgrade the 1K disc? Well, you can, sort of. Now that your 1K disc is empty, put it in your hotbar, shift right click with it. This will remove the storage cell from the housing. This only works with empty discs. Now you can use that storage cell to craft a storage segment for a 4K disc. So what we're saying here is when you shift right click your 1K storage disc, you'll get 1 cell out of it that you can put towards your 4K, because remember the 4K is going to require 3 storage cells, so you'll only get 1 from your 1K disc, but that's still 1 less that you'll need towards your 4K. To put a cell segment block cluster into the disc, just craft it with the housing. So basically what that's saying is okay, if I put that in there, shift right click, that empties it out. So you see I've got 2 cells. Now if I want to put that back just like I did before, and there you go, that's how you craft it back to a 4K storage. In actual fact though, I think I'll take that cell out because I don't need another 4K storage. But I can now use that casing to put the next one up to make the 64K. Let's see, I don't know if I've got enough resources to do that though. Storage block. So let's show you with that. There you go, and that'll make a 16K. So, or I could use the cluster, which will make, let's show you quickly to be in the name of thoroughness. And there you go, that's a 64K. Anyway, jumping ahead I believe now, so let's put that back. And let's sleep. And go back into the quest. So okay, so that's what it's talking about, splitting up the cell, but I showed you that previously because I wanted to demonstrate it with the partition editor. Okay, so that is now all done. So let's claim reward. Cool, I've got another storage cell and another storage housing and another full heart. Okay, so moving on. So we've just done storing and upgrading. Let's have a look at Big Brother before we progress down that way. Okay, maybe you'd like to be able to monitor the levels of an item without having to open your terminal. If you right click with an item on the storage monitor, it will display how many of that type of item is contained in the network. If you shift right click the display with the crescent hammer, then it will lock the display to that particular item. If you shift right click a conversion matrix onto a locked monitor, then it will install the matrix. You can now I just knew the timer was going to go. You can now right click the monitor to pull out a stack of... you know what? The timer's gone. I was going to do this, but I'll make the next episode Big Brother. There's only so much people want to absorb in each episode anyway. So there we go. We can do Big Brother in the next episode. Wherever you are in the world, God bless you and keep every last one of you safe. Thank you for watching and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.